Hello everyone, I'm excited to share this crochet pattern with you. Let's crochet a mini piggy. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today I will be sharing how I crochet these tiny little pigs. These are very fun and easy to make. I wanted to come up with a pattern that was a no-sew. And if you like how this little guy looks, I'll show you how I make it. And this little dude measures about 3 inches and about 2 inches high and 2 inches wide. So it's really nice and cute. It's perfect for little hands. This will make a cute desk accessory. Or if you wanted to, you could add a piece of yarn here and do some chains to create a big loop, and you can turn this into a backpack charm. It's very cute. I wanted to show you guys this here. So the same pattern, I decided to test it out on size 7 jumbo yarn, and I used an 8mm crochet hook, and look how cute this little guy turned out. Adjust this a little bit more. Look how cute. It's the same pattern. I thought it came out so cute. Nice little plushie there. Just wanted to show you guys. I wasn't sure about it at first, but my kids love it. I think I'll make another one in a different color. But for this little one here, you'll need a size 4 acrylic medium weight yarn, a small piece of black yarn for the snout. I used a 3.5mm crochet hook. You'll need some scissors, tapestry needle, some batting, and I used 12mm safety eyes here. But of course, feel free to use any eyes of your choice. Alrighty, let's grab our supplies and get ready. To begin our pattern, we are going to start off by creating a magic ring. Chain 1. And in this magic ring, we're going to do round 1, and we're going to do 10 single crochet in the magic ring. Close out that magic ring, and we're going to work in the back loops only in the next round. So let's slip stitch to the first back loop only, which is this one right here. So here are the stitches. You can see them right here. So in the stitches, you'll see that there are 2 loops. This loop here closest to us is the front loop, and the one sticking out, these bumps back there, that's the back loop. So we'll be working in this round, in the back loops for this round only. I'm going to close out my magic ring a little bit more. I usually pull it tight and then just create a couple of knots. If you wanted to, you could take a tapestry needle and weave it in, but I usually incorporate the tail in the next round. So for round 2, we're going to do a decrease round in the back loop only. So in the first back loop, we're going to do a single crochet and then a decrease. Insert your hook, pull the yarn, insert your hook directly into the next back loop, pull the yarn, yarn over and pull through all the loops. That's a decrease. Single crochet and decrease, single crochet and decrease, and we're going to finish with a single crochet. If you need to use a stitch marker so you can find your stitch, please do so. Here's my first stitch. slip stitch and chain 1. So this is the snout right here. Alrighty, so now we're going to do an increase round. We're going to do 7 increases. That's 2 single crochets in each stitch around, completing 14 stitches for round 3. There's our 7 increases, totaling 14 single crochets for this round. Slip stitch to the first single crochet and chain 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So for round 4, we're going to do another increase round. 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then increase in the next. 1 single crochet, 1 increase all the way around, totaling 21 stitches for this round. So I'll go ahead and finish this round and I'll meet you at the end. Here I am at the end of my round. I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet and chain 1. In this next round, we're going to incorporate the ears. This is round 5. To begin, we're going to do 8 single crochet. There's my 8 single crochet, and in this 9th stitch, we're going to incorporate the ear, but we're going to do it in the front loop only. Back loop, front loop. So if you wanted to add a stitch marker to the back loop only, because we'll be working in the back loop in the next round, here is my stitch marker for my back loop. That always helps me find it in the next round. So slip stitch into the 9th stitch in the front loop, and we're going to do our first ear. We'll do 2 double crochets, then we're going to do a picot, chain 2, and then we're going to insert our yarn, our hook into these 2 loops. It's the top of the double crochet and this side loop here. Just insert your hook into those 2 loops, just like so. Pull the yarn and slip stitch. So it makes a little bit of a point right there. Then 2 more double crochets into that same stitch and finish with a slip stitch. There's the first ear. Now we're going to do 3 single crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do the other ear again in the front loop only. So to help me out in the next round, I will do a stitch marker into the back loop. So in the front loop, let's slip stitch 2 double crochet, chain 2, picot. Here's the top loop and that side loop. Pull the yarn and slip stitch, 2 double crochet back into that same stitch, 1, 2, and then finish with a slip stitch. There's the second ear. Now we're going to finish our round. There should be 8 single crochets left, still completing 21 stitches all the way around. Alrighty, so I completed my round And in this next round, we're just going to do one single crochet all the way around, completing 21 stitches. This would be round 6. So here's my 8th single crochet, and the 9th single crochet, you're going to do it in the back loop. That's why I put my stitch marker there. See, it helps me find it easier. So I'll just fold this over, insert my hook, take out my stitch marker, and do a single crochet. And then the ears are separated by 3 single crochets. 3 right here. And then here is my next single crochet. There's my 2nd stitch marker right here. Insert my hook, take this out, and then just finish my round. Still completing 21 single crochets for this round. I'll go ahead and finish the round, and I'll meet you at the end. Here I am at the end of round 6. I will slip stitch to that first stitch and chain 1. There we go. It's looking pretty cute, right? So now we're going to do the front 2 legs. These are bobble stitches here. So this is round 7. So in the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. I'm going to add a stitch marker to this one to help me out in the next round. And in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 bobble stitch. Bobble stitch is you yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And you're doing all these yarn overs and insert hook all in that same stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook, pull the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, insert the hook, pull the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. Okay, there's my bobble stitch. Now I'm going to do 17 single crochets. There is my 17 single crochet, and I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to do a bobble stitch in the next stitch. And finish with a single crochet. Here is my stitch marker to begin my next round. Slip stitch and chain 1. Just gotta pop these back out. There are the 2 little feet. There we go. So let me see my notes here. So for rounds 8 and 9, we're going to do 2 rows of 1 single crochet around. So this one right here was round 7. We just completed that. So we're going to do 2 more rows of just 1 single crochet around, 21 stitches in each round. There's no increase, no decrease. So let's do 2 rows, rows 8 and 9. And I will meet you at the end of round 9, and in round 10 we'll do 2 more leggies right here. Okay, I'll meet you when I complete my 2 rounds here. Okay folks, so I completed my 2 rows of single crochet, And now I'm going to take this opportunity to attach the safety eyes here. And I am using 12mm safety eyes, and I place them between rows 4 and 5. And I put it like right below the ear, wherever you think looks good for you. This one, for example, is in between rows 3 and 4. And this is between 4 and 5. So it's really up to you, friends, wherever you see it fit. And then with these safety eyes, I take an extra step. So this is the one I just attached. You can see it's got a little bit of a point, and this one's flattened out. So I just take a lighter here and just melt this plastic. It melts very quickly, and then I flatten it out. And just like so, and it cools down very quickly as well. I just like to take an extra precaution here. And with my bigger projects, I'll even add some glue on there. You never know with kids, right? I always like to pull on stuff, and I just like to make it a little extra safe. Alrighty, that's what it's looking like so far. Okay, for the next round, we're going to do the other 2 leggies here. So where's my hook? Okay, so to begin, we're going to mimic this row here. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to add a stitch marker to help me out, and then a bobble stitch. Okay, once you have your 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops. Now we're going to do 17 single crochets. Okay, I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to do a bobble stitch in this next stitch. There are my 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all the loops, and finish with a single crochet. There's my stitch marker, I can move that. Slip stitch to that first stitch and chain 1. There we go. Very cute. And also, I like to mention that in this round, if you feel that your starting round is going too sideways, you can always do 2 single crochets and then a bobble stitch, and then 16 single crochets, because I know for me, my starting rounds shift a little bit, but because the project is so small, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But usually, so here's my starting. You can kind of slightly see how it shifts a little. So if you feel like this round you need to do 1 more single crochet to align it a little bit with this one, then go ahead and do that, because that happens to me sometimes. I have to kind of change the formula so it can align because of the starting rounds there. Alrighty, I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see. So the next round, we are simply doing 1 single crochet around. Alrighty, I'll do my 1 single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of this round. I completed my round of 1 single crochet, and to begin round 12, we're going to do a decrease round. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and a decrease. Insert your hook, pull the yarn, insert your hook directly into the next stitch, pull the yarn, yarn over and pull through all the loops. Single crochet and decrease all the way around, totaling 14 stitches for this round. And there we go. We finish with a decrease, slip stitch to the first stitch, and chain one. We're going to do another decrease round. We're going to do 7 decreases. This will be our last round. Here are my 7 decreases, and before I slip stitch to that first stitch, I'm going to add the batting. After completing, after adding the batting, I'm going to slip stitch to that first stitch, and then I'm going to fasten off, but I leave a super long tail. I leave a tail about 8 feet long because we're going to do the tail now, but I like to close out the ring first before I do the tail. So before you fasten off, make sure you leave an extra long tail. I suggest maybe about 7 to 8 feet long. I think that's long enough. And then pull this through. So now we're going to take a tapestry needle and close out this ring. So what I like to do is I like to close it out by pulling my tapestry needle through the front loops of this last round. So there are 7 stitches, so you'll pull through 7 loops. And there we go. Close it out nicely. And I'll just put my needle in here and just make a little knot. There we go. So now that we close this out, now we're going to do the little tail here. So here is this one right here was the last round. This is where we did the 7 decreases. So I will insert my hook just like at the top portion there and pull the yarn. And I will do a chain of 7. Just like that. So I repositioned my yarn to the top of that round there. And you can see that. And then I'll do a chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to work my way back down these chains. So starting in the second chain, I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each chain.
That's the first chain, the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, and the sixth chain.
And there's my little curly tail there. And as you can see, I have extra here. I think it was overkill. As a matter of fact, I think my tail was way longer than 8 feet long. So what I do here is I will slip stitch to where I started, where I pulled the chain through, where I pulled the yarn through, I'm sorry. I'll pull it through, do a slip stitch, and pull all that yarn through there. And there's the little tail. I'm going to snip off the excess, and then I'm just gonna weave this tail in.
That's That's good enough.
There we go. Look at that little guy. So cute. So now we're just gonna add the snout. And to do that, I'll take my small piece of yarn here, attach it to my tapestry needle, and we're just gonna make these two little lines right there. So I insert my needle through the bottom of my project, and I decide where I want it. So here's round 1. So I'll probably just do them like right here and here. You can just eyeball it. So I put it through from the bottom and come out through that first round here. And then make one line like this. So make a little line, and then I will come out through the other side right here to begin my second line there. And I try to even it out as much as I could. Then come out through the bottom. Create a couple of knots, and then I will weave it in. I'll just hide my tails inside my project. And there we have it, friends. What do you guys think? How cute is this, right? What a cute little desk accessory. And another step I like to take, so sometimes these little piggies, the acrylic yarn can get a little fuzzy. So this one, as you can see, it's not as fuzzy, and that's because I lightly applied a little bit of heat to it. So this one has a little bit of a fuzz. But a trick I like to do is I'll take a lighter and I'll just gently put it close to the acrylic yarn, and it melts the fuzzies on there. Just gives it more of a cleaner look. So that's an optional step there. But there we have it, friends. Cute little piggies. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I hope you give it a go. And please remember to hit that subscribe button. Thank you, friends. Bye.